So
That's right.
the trajectory that I talk about is perpendicular to the forehead. Mm-hmm. And this is all assuming you're going for a forehead shot. You can do it behind the head, which we'll talk about. But it has to be perpendicular. So if you think of the angle of the forehead, your shot has to be at right angles to that, the path of the bullet. Otherwise, you're going to hit down in the sinus and miss brain entirely.
Right.
Unlikely that you're going to go too high because you'd actually have to be lower than the pig. But so usually when I'm shooting a pig and its head is down in a water bowl slurping slowly and placidly, I am like almost sitting on my butt.
Almost like sniper.
Yeah,
like
I am way down,
yeah.
way down on the level of the pig, squatting way down, low. So if you can elevate that head, you might not have to squat. And if you're standing in a blackberry thicket, you're probably not going to want to squat. And that happens sometimes, it just depends on where you are. And sometimes it's nice to elevate that head.
World War II styles, like on your elbows, like you're going through barbed wire or something to get to these pigs that were sleeping under a blackberry bush.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes they're just not going to come out because it's cool where they are. And they're like, food, water, don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stay in here in the middle of Mirkwood Forest. And you have to crawl in and get me. So that's why I frequently, for years, I wore tin cloth pants because I was on my hands and knees and brambles. Now there is also, and it was so cool, another fun experience. I learned all of this through trial and error, by the way. That's how all of this is learned.
Yep.
It is in the doing that you learn the don'ting. And you get better and better at your doing. And so I did this one, I slaughtered a couple pigs for this really wonderful couple, Gig Harbor. And it was one of those cases where these were gloriously pampered pigs, which I love. It's so cool. Like it looks like she might have shampooed their hair every once in a while. And sometimes I'll bring that up just to be like, I guess I really want a farmer to tell me, yeah, I do. I actually wash my pigs. I condition them.
Well, we know one who has for sure.
Really?
Yeah, on island here. I don't know if to say her name.
No, she doesn't.
I thought she did.
No, because see, what I do is I try to find out the backhanded way, which is probably not right, but I'll be like, wow, they look like they've been conditioned.
And then you leave a long, silent, awkward
pause. And no one has ever said, well, yeah, I do actually. Even though, like, just glistening coats, beautiful, gorgeous, healthy. So
usually it's a result of diet, actually.
It is,
like that one customer feeds her pigs like olive oil or something.
Well, no, and like pressed grapes.
Right, that's true. Right.
After making wine, and there's going to be some oil extraction there, and or just healthy pigs, clean pigs will have oily, shiny, beautiful, shimmery coats. So these couple pigs were that way, and I showed up that day, and they actually wanted me to teach them how to do the whole thing. So it was a private. And we went through the whole thing together. And it was so cool because she had contained them in a very tiny room, basically, off the side of their garage, if I remember correctly. And it was tiny. And it was walled in on all four sides with I guess they call it a Dutch door.
Okay.
Which is what we call anything that we don't know what else to call it. We call it Dutch, like Dutch oven or Dutch door. It's such a weird whatever. But, so it opened on top and on bottom, and it was split in the middle. And the bottom was solid. And why that matters is that usually I'm shooting, on the other side of electric wire, which I can obviously shoot through, or a hog panel, which has nice big holes that I can shoot through. But if it's a solid walled structure, I can only stand above it and shoot down, especially if the space is tiny. I can't even fit in there, with my gun and kneeling down, and then plus the whole length of the pig. So that was this situation. It was tight. And the second pig just was not giving us a target. I was able to sneak one off the first kill pretty good. And she was full of hopeful enthusiasm, which I think is her personality.
Yeah.
And so she was like, why don't you try from the back of the head? And, when I'm on a job, I like to keep things, I'm really conscientious, so I like things to be perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make mistakes.
And
especially, I'm not going to experiment with someone else's pigs.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I might experiment with mine, new techniques, new shooting angles, whatever. But not on someone else's. And I just thought it was so generous of her to say, try this on mine.
Yeah.
You
Knowing
know,
full well that
it could go wrong. Again,
yeah.
only though she was taking on, sharing that
burden.
responsibility of those who shoots them can miss them, which I thought was winsome of her. And
Yeah.
so I did, and this pig was laying down in the corner, and I aimed from behind, and I shot basically from behind the ear, because there's no back of the head to a pig. The back of the head of a pig is its ass. It's the hams.
Yeah.
Just the way a pig is shaped.
Right.
So what you actually end up doing is shooting behind the ear.
Okay.
So you are still standing like it's more at, you're standing at like 7 o'clock or 7:30.
Okay.
Maybe 8 o'clock. And the idea at the back end of the pig is that the bullet, it goes from the back side of the skull and then penetrates through the brain almost to the opposite eye, which is kind of what you're aiming for.
So like behind one ear?
Yes.
Okay.
To the opposite eye.
Okay.
Yeah, is what you're aiming for.
I think I can envision that.
Yeah. And it works excellent.
Wow.
Of course, it is thin enough there, and I've done it a couple times. When situations require it, you just can't get that frontal.
Sure.
Sometimes pigs are so antsy-pantsy that they will not face you. And that is just temperament. Some pigs just have that temperament where they are always going to be staring at you out of the side of their head. I don't know if they have binocular vision, but they like to keep one eye on you, which means they're always looking at you from the side, and they just won't face you. But they still want to stare at you. They need to keep an eye on you. They won't ignore you and start to eat or drink.
Yeah.
And in those cases, that behind the ear thing is nice.
Yeah.